I'm often asked, how much does it cost to get a dealer's license in Georgia? And I cannot really answer that question because of a couple of things that we need to determine before we can arrive at the true estimate of the total cost of obtaining a used motor vehicle license from the state of Georgia. So if you want to learn how much it costs to get a Georgia dealer's license, we're going to talk about that right now. Hello, I'm Dallas Johnson with Dealer Training, and we are an approved Georgia dealer license training provider. So if you do decide after watching this video that you want to obtain a Georgia dealer's license, part of the startup process includes taking a 4-hour class, and we are approved by the Georgia Board of Used Motor Vehicle Dealers, and we hold these pre-licensed classes in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Macon, Savannah, and Valdosta, so you can find a training location near your home. And you can find that pre-license schedule at georgiadealer.com. Once again, that is georgiadealer.com. Just click on the class schedule page so you can find out exactly where a training location is near your home. So let's go ahead and talk about how much it costs to get a Georgia dealer's license. There on the screen, you're going to see some startup costs that are going to give you a general idea of what the license itself costs. The state of Georgia charges only $170 a year for a used motor vehicle license, but they're also going to charge you a $10 mail-in fee. So you are paying for your dealer's license with a check or money order for $180. And you're going to put that into that envelope that you're mailing to the board. And by the way, when I refer to the board, I'm talking about the Georgia Board of Used Motor Vehicle Dealers that meets several times in a year in Macon. And you're going to mail all your dealer license paperwork to the board, and they will review, then hopefully grant your dealer's license in a very short period of time. In your dealer training class, we're actually going to complete all the paperwork that you must submit to the board for your licensure approval. And I'm going to be giving that class in person, and I'm going to do my very best to ensure that you complete all the dealer license paperwork correctly, so you are submitting the paperwork correctly to the board and get your dealer's licenses approved as soon as possible so you can open your business as soon as possible and hopefully start making some money as soon as possible. And we will spend a good part of your dealer pre-license class completing all of the paperwork together before you mail it to the board in Macon. So the state charges $170 plus that $10 mail-in fee, so your first cost will be $180. The law in Georgia requires you take a 4-hour pre-license course in order to obtain your dealer's license. And the tuition for your dealer course is $249. And by the way, you can find a class location at georgiadealer.com. Just click on the class schedule link to find a dealer license training course near your home. And while you're at the website, I would also ask you that you please read the reviews from other entrepreneurs just like you that have already taken the training class. You know, in the class, we're going to show you how to obtain your fingerprints. You must register for your fingerprints, then apply for your dealer's license, and then the board is going to notify you to report to your fingerprint location. Sounds complicated, but it's really not. I'm going to cover this with you in your dealer training class. And in your class, I've got some really great checklists for you that you're going to take with you after the class that shows you exactly what paperwork that you're throwing into that envelope that you're mailing to the board in Macon. There's also a checklist that shows you exactly what steps to complete in the correct chronological order after your class. And then I've also got some paperwork that's going to show you all the paperwork that you fill out when you're completing a deal, all the paperwork. So I'm going to make it as easy as I possibly can for you, not only to apply for your license correctly, but to run your business once you've obtained that license as well. Okay, so normally the fingerprint requirements are going to, I think the last time I checked it was $51.25. So let's say it's $52, okay? So right now we're looking at $100 for the dealer's license itself, $249 for the tuition for your dealer class, and about $52 for your fingerprints. Now, let's take a look at some other costs here. Most dealers in the state are going to be required to register with the Georgia Secretary of State, since the Georgia Secretary of State wants to have a record of every business operating in the state of Georgia, including this business that you're getting ready to open. And I'm going to show you how to easily register with the Secretary of State in your dealer license training class. So we are definitely going to spend a little bit of time with that in your class. And by the way, if you do decide to go for it and obtain your own dealer's license, once again, my name is Dallas Johnson, and I'm going to be giving your class. And I really look forward to meeting you in person in your dealer training class. Just go to georgiadealer.com and click on that the big blue button to enroll, or you can check the class schedule button there as well. Now, part of this process is also going to be, and by the way, the Secretary of State filing is about $100. They've got some expedited fees, but the minimum fee is normally going to be about $100. You will also be required to get a federal employment identification number and a Georgia Sales tax number. In your class, I'm going to show you how to easily obtain your Georgia sales tax ID number and your federal employment ID number for free. There are companies out there that will charge you $300 to help you apply for your Georgia sales tax number, and some companies will charge you as much as $600 to apply for your federal tax employment number. Well, you don't need to pay someone to apply for your sales tax number with the state of Georgia or your federal employment number. I am going to show you how to do this in your class for free. So I'm going to show you how to easily obtain not only your Georgia sales tax license number, but your employment identification number for free. We're going to jump online and I'll show you how easy both of these numbers are to obtain with a few clicks of the mouse. So don't pay anyone to obtain your sales tax license number or your employment number. I'm going to show you how to easily do this in class, and both of these numbers can be obtained for free, and we'll cover that in your dealer training class. Very easy to do. You know, the state of Georgia does have a law that requires every person applying for a dealer's license to obtain a local business license from either your city or your county. So if you're opening a dealership in a city, you're going to need to obtain a local city business license. If you're opening your business out in the rural area of, say, for example, of a county, you'll need a county business license. So most city or county business licenses only cost about $25 startup, and usually some of them will require you renew them every year. Some of them are perennial, which means you can get a $25 city business license, so sometimes you might be able to operate without renewing that. So you have to check your local city or your county. In your dealer license training class, I'm going to show you how to easily register your business with your local city or county, and we will cover this process extensively in your dealer training class. So here we have another $25 startup. If you're going to be selling used motor vehicles, which I'm assuming that you will be doing, you must obtain a $35,000 dealer surety bond. Now, I get calls every day from entrepreneurs just like you that ask something like, you mean I have to pay $35,000 to get this bond thing? What's this bond thing? You know, no, not at all. A $35,000 dealer surety bond does not cost $35,000. It's priced on your credit score. So price is based on your credit score. So with good credit, you should be paying about $150 to $250 a year for your $35,000 dealer surety bond, which you'll be able to obtain from a bonding company or an insurance agent. If you have a couple of bad marks on your credit score, you can pay a much higher price for that bond. But let's say with good credit, your bond should run around $200. One of the largest expenses of obtaining a Georgia used motor vehicle license will be your insurance. The state of Georgia requires that you obtain an insurance policy before you are granted a license. So you must obtain business insurance that is referred to as garage liability. It can't just be automobile liability like on your regular car. It's got to have the words garage in it. Okay, so that's going to cover that's your business insurance that covers you when your customers are test driving your motor vehicles, or when maybe you're transporting vehicles back and forth from a dealer auction, which I'm sure you'll be going into the dealer auctions once you have your Georgia license. That'll actually allow you to do that. Now, the pricing of your garage liability insurance is determined by your driving record and also the location of your license. So if you have a good driving record, you should be spending somewhere, this is a rough estimate, somewhere around $800 to $1,000 a year on your garage insurance. Another factor that can affect the insurance is the geographic area of your dealership. So the closer your dealership is to a downtown area, the higher your insurance rates will be. The further your dealership is from the core of a downtown area, the lower your rates will be. So if you're starting a dealership in downtown Macon, your insurance rates will be higher than if you're obtaining a dealer's license in a rural part of Monroe County. So the closer you get to a downtown, the higher your rates. Now, even though the estimate for your insurance with someone with good driving record is about $800 to $1,000 a year, most insurance companies will actually allow you to finance your insurance. So let's just say your insurance costs $1,000 a year. You can probably get the policy started with about $250 down and make monthly payments, which would substantially reduce your total dealer license startup costs. So let's go ahead and go over your total startup costs here, okay? As you can see here, your dealer license fee will run $180. That's with the mail-in fee. Your dealer license class tuition is $249. Fingerprints are around $52. Secretary of State filing is around $100. Your local business license should run around $25. Your dealer surety bond with good credit should be about $200. And your garage insurance with a good driving record should be somewhere around $900. So the total estimate to obtain your dealer's license with good driving record and good credit is about $1,706, about $1,700. Now, if you finance your insurance, that could drop off $700 of your total startup cost. So if you're financing your insurance, your total cost, assuming that you have a good driving record and good credit, could be a little over $1,000. And since you're financing your insurance in this scenario, obviously you need to be aware you're going to be spending about $60 to $75 a month on your insurance. So this cost can dramatically change depending on your driving record. Those insurance costs could be lower or higher, and also upon your credit score. Now, I just went over how much it costs to actually obtain the actual dealer license itself. In other words, these are the costs to get the license basically hanging on your wall. You will need to factor in your other location requirements. If you have a building and a lot, Georgia law does allow dealers that have a motor vehicle broker endorsement to operate without a lot if you have a building or an office. And you can even have a building at your residence as long as your building is separate from your residence and you meet local zoning. So the state of Georgia does allow you to operate from a residential property, but that is not the norm, okay? You'd have to have a separate building that's completely separate from your residence. You would have to meet all your local zoning requirements and then all the other requirements that we talk about in the pre-license class as well. And so you can check with your zoning. And if you ever need to check with zoning, no matter what business building that you're interested in using, if it's in a city, call your city hall, ask for planning and zoning, and tell them the address of the building that you want to use, and see if it's zoned correctly. So the state requires that you're zoned correctly. Or if you're out in a rural area, call your county and ask them if you can have a dealership at the exact address. And they'll look it up and they'll tell you yes or no, okay? If you have other questions about how to obtain your Georgia dealer's license, you can visit georgiadealer.com. Once again, that is georgiadealer.com. Click on the Get License link at the top of any page for very step-by-step detailed startup instructions on how you can obtain your license. And as I stated before, I would encourage you to read reviews from other entrepreneurs just like you that have already taken the class. And I think you'll find that the training class is highly recommended. And you can also listen to our podcast, which I think that you're going to find very informational as well. So when you are ready to move forward and get into this incredible business, I would really appreciate the opportunity to become your Georgia dealer license training partner. You must attend a 4-hour dealer pre-license class in order to obtain your Georgia dealer's license. And my name's Dallas Johnson. I will be giving your class, and I certainly do look forward to meeting you in person. And you can just click on that class schedule link at the top of any page of the georgiadealer.com website, and you're going to find that we hold classes in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Macon, Savannah, and Valdosta. So hopefully you can find a training location near your home. The dealer classes are held in very comfortable hotel meeting rooms throughout the state, and there's no test in the class. You just have to arrive by no later than 8 a.m. and sit through the entire 4-hour class and then display your photograph ID at the very end of the class, at which time you're going to be issued your official dealer pre-license class certificate of completion. So if you can put up with me for about 4 hours on the day of your class, you will graduate. And since there's no test, you just have to sit through the entire class for 4 hours. So when you leave your training class, you're going to be confident not only in applying for your dealer's license to the board in Macon, but you're also going to be ready to run your new business. So I hope I get the opportunity to meet you very soon. When you're ready to change your life with a Georgia dealer's license, just click that big blue enroll button at the top of any page at georgiadealer.com. Once again, my name is Dallas Johnson. I'm going to be giving that class, and I look forward to meeting you very soon. And I want to wish you the very best of luck with your new business. Thank you very much.